Namaste, dear students. How are you all? I hope you all are doing good. So, after receiving many responses from the students, that assignment question number one, that is some company limited, which was asked in the year April-May 2007, University of Mysuru. Many of the students are getting confusion, so I thought I will only, do the solution part. So I have done the solution for illustration number one, that is assignment illustration number one. So let us look into the problem and let us understand the problem before commencing the solution part. Sun Company Limited issued a prospectus inviting applications for 60,000 shares of rupees 10 each at a premium of rupees 2 per share, payable as follows. So here the Sun Company Limited have issued how many shares? So company have issued 60,000 shares, correct? 60,000 shares issued by the company. What is the face value? Per share rupees 10. Each share value is rupees 10. And there is a premium also in this problem. So at a premium of rupees 2 per share. So at rupees 2. So premium is also there. That is rupees 2 per share. The company is collecting premium. So amount payable, so that on application rupees 2 and on allotment rupees 5 per share including premium. So if 5 rupees is an allotment which includes premium, so premium how much? 2 rupees. So if you deduct that 2 rupees, how much you are going to get? You are going to get 3 rupees, that is towards allotment for share capital. Okay, so 3 rupees is for allotment and 2 rupees is for security premium or share premium. Applications were received for 90,000 shares and allotment was made pro rata to the applicants of 75,000 shares. The remaining applications were rejected. Allotment money overpaid on applications was applied towards sum due on allotment. So here the company have offered to the general public for 60,000 share, but the public have applied for how many shares? 90,000 shares. So public applied for 90,000 shares. So the situation is oversubscription because company issued is 60,000 but public have applied is 90,000. So 30,000 share application we have received in excess, correct? So we have received in excess. So here further the problem says a pro rata to the applicants of 75,000 shares has been allotted to the share allotment is done on pro rata basis for 75,000 shares and the remaining is rejected and refunded. So that means this, especially this point you have to remember. So this we are going to receive, that is bank account data to share application account is 90,000 into 2, 90,000 into 2, correct? So that is exactly perfect. That is, if you are getting 90,000 into 2 is 1,80,000, 1,80,000. So that is what. So in the transfer entry, we have to be very careful because on pro rata basis, 75,000 shares were allotted. So remaining rejected and refunded. That means company keeping 75,000 application money for pro rata allotment purpose and remaining 15,000 into 2, that is 30,000 has been rejected and that will be refunded through bank in the second journal entry. So till this adjustment, I think problem has no much complication. Clear. So you can understand very easily because there is no much complication in the problem till this point. So next is Mr. A, to whom 1000 shares had been allotted, failed to pay the allotment money. So Mr. A is the holder of 1000 shares and he failed to pay allotment money. When a shareholder fails to pay allotment money, I have repeatedly told many times, so you should remember a working note. So which number of shares applied by that particular party and number of shares allotted by the company, and at the same time net amount not paid by that failure shareholder, one who failed to pay that call money, and at the same time so is payments, so that we should consider. Okay, for example, here in this problem, Mr. A is the holder of 1000 shares, failed to pay allotment money. So that means first we have to calculate, that is number of shares applied by Mr. A, then after that we have to calculate the net amount which is not paid by Mr. A in this problem, then we have to calculate the net amount, so that is net amount received. So from that particular person, that is Mr. A, how much he has paid. So after identifying that, so we can easily calculate the rest. So next let us move further. So allotment level failed means so many adjustment, that is working notes you have to do. On his subsequent failure to pay the first call, his shares were forfeited. That means once Mr. A did not pay calls money, that is fine. But on his next failure in the payment of first call money, so his shares has been immediately forfeited after the first call account, after the first call made. Then Mr. B, the holder of 2000 shares, failed to pay both the calls. So that means what? Both the calls means two calls, that is first call as well as second call. Mr. B is the holder of 2000 shares. So he is also failed to pay both the calls. So is the shares also forfeited after the second and final call made. Of the shares forfeited, 1500 shares were sold to Mr. C. So that means the whatever the shares he had, out of that 1500 shares has been sold to Mr. C as a fully paid up for rupees 8 rupees 50 paise per share. How much? 8 rupees 50 paise per share, that is the reissue amount. The whole of A's shares being included. The complete A's share has to be included. A's share is 1500. So that is what 1000 is the number of shares held by Mr. A. So here we are reissuing 1500. So that means entire 1000 shares which was held by Mr. A, that should be included for reissue. So the left out balance is 500. So those 500 shares should be reissued from the Mr. B's share. Clear? Mr. B's share has to be taken into consider. So the rest of 1500 shares which was not reissued by Mr. A, so that should be considered as calls in arrears. So because we have not made a call again, so that is calls in arrears, like that we have to show the effect. So then that rupees 8.50 is there, so that also we have to calculate how much the money we are supposed to giving as a discount and what is the amount we are transferring to capital reserve account. So that is also we have to learn from the working note. So we have to learn from the working note, so that we have to find out through the working note. So this is just a basic out structure of the problem. So as I said, since it is a partly reissued from the forfeited shares, so you're getting confusion, but it is one of the most simple problems. So we have done this kind of problem already in your previous notes. So if you verify, so if you check, cross check, you're going to get that same kind of problem. Okay, so anyways, without doing any further delay, so let us start the solution part for this problem. So you know, right, what are all the working note? We have to do a working note nearly 1 to 1.5 page, then journal entries, followed by journal entries we are going to solve. So let us begin. So open your books and start the working note part. So you know, right, what is the first working note? Yes, that is absolutely correct. Number of shares applied, that working note you have to do. So let us. Dear students, so today we are going to solve assignment question 1, that is Sun Company Limited, so which has been asked in the year May 2007, April-May 2007. So we are looking into that, working on that solution part of that problem. So first thing what we are supposed to do, we are supposed to do a note. So what is that note is all about? So that note is all about note number of shares issued, number of shares issued. How many shares issued by the company? That is 60,000 shares. So next is number of shares subscribed, that is applied by the public, number of shares subscribed. So how much? 80,000 shares, correct? So let us look into the problem that, so company have issued 60,000 shares and application were received for 90,000 shares. Application were received for how many shares? 90,000 shares. So 90,000 shares. Okay, so now issued is 60,000 whereas subscribed is 90,000. So excess applications applied by the public is 30,000. So this is what we call it as a over subscription. Over subscription. Over subscription. So next what we are supposed to do, when oversubscription is there, automatically we have to do a pro rata allotment, correct? So write pro rata allotment. Pro rata allotment. So now if you look at the problem, in the problem they said application were received for 90,000 shares and allotment was made pro rata to the applicants of 75,000 shares. The remaining applications were rejected. Allotment money overpaid on application was applied towards sum due on allotment. So which is due on allotment. So then it is a pro rata allotment. So company is keeping 75,000 application money, correct? So now 90,000 which is applied by the public, 90,000 minus 75,000 if you do, how much left is 15,000, correct? 15,000. If you total this, how much you are going to get? 90,000. So out of this 75,000 applications, so for the purpose of our application, how much we are going to create? 60,000 into how much is the application money? On application, rupees 2 per share. On application, rupees 2. So then 60,000 into 2, that is 1,20,000. So that is transferred to what? Share application account. So share application. Share application. Okay. So next is, out of 75,000, 60,000 has been transferred to application. So the left out is how much? 15,000 application money. So they clearly said that is excess application money received, transferred to the adjusted towards allotment. So 15 into 2, 30,000 rupees, that is adjusted to allotment. Adjusted to allotment. So next is other 15,000 whatever it is, so that 15,000 is rejected and refunded. So rejected and refunded. Rejected and refunded. See, it is very simple. So this same adjustment we are going to reflect in which journal entry? We are going to show the same in the second journal entry, that is in the level of like transferring application money to their various respective accounts. So application money transferred, in that entry we are going to show all these transactions. So you should remember, and it is very very important to do this. Okay, so next, further moving, next working note. So now we are going to do a working note. So working note number 1. So why do we do this working note? See, in the problem they clearly said, that is, Mr. A, to whom 1000 shares has been allotted, failed to pay the allotment money, and on his subsequent failure to pay the first call, his shares were forfeited, and Mr. B, the holder of 2000 shares, failed to pay both the calls, and his shares were forfeited after second and final call. So of the shares forfeited, 1500 shares were sold to C, credited, fully paid up for rupees 8 rupees 50 paise per share, the whole of A's share being included. So here there are two major important adjustment what we are going to do. So that is, one thing is Mr. A failed to pay in the allotment level. So we have to find a number of shares applied by Mr. A. So then what is the allotment money paid by Mr. A, allotment money not paid by Mr. A. So that we have to calculate. So after that we have to calculate net allotment money received for the purpose of adjustment. Then we have to calculate, that is reissued and not reissued and transferred to capital reserve. So that we are going to do it now. Okay, so now working note number 1, in this we are going to calculate number of shares applied by Mr. A. So write down calculation of number of shares applied by Mr. A. Okay, so now we have to do a working note for this. So allotment were made 60,000 for 75,000. So how much the company doing pro rata allotment for 75,000 shares? We have done the pro rata allotment for 75,000 shares when company called up for 60,000 shares. So then Mr. A is the holder of how many shares? 1000 shares. So applied by Mr. A, how many shares? So now do the cross multiplication. So that is 75,000 into 1000 divided by 60,000. 75,000 into 1000 divided by 60,000. So if you do the calculation, how much you are going to get? Calculate 75,000 into 1000 divided by 60,000. So we are going to get 1,250 shares applied by Mr. A. How many? 1,250 shares is applied by Mr. A. Okay. So next working note is working note number 2. Working note number 2. So working note number 2 is all about calculation of allotment money not paid by Mr. A. Okay. So write down calculation of allotment money not paid by Mr. A. Okay, calculation of allotment money not paid by Mr. A. So now let us calculate, that is allotment money actual due was 1000 into 5. 1000 into 5. Actually supposed to pay 5,000 rupees. Okay. So excess application money less excess, this is a due, allotment money due, excess application money adjusted to allotment, correct? Adjusted. So actually applied by Mr. A 1,250. What is the excess application? If you look at, he is the holder of 1,000, so he has applied for 1,250 shares, correct? So then he has paid on 250 application money, 250 share application money. 250 into 2, how much? So that is 500, which we have already adjusted from the application money, correct? We have already adjusted from the application money. So deduct. So you are going to get 4,500. Clear? That allotment money not paid by Mr. A. So allotment money not paid by Mr. A. So that is 4,500 rupees we got. Okay. So next is working note, calculation of net allotment money received. So as a whole, how much the allotment money we have received. So working note number 3, correct? So now write down calculation of net allotment money received. Calculation of net allotment money received. Calculation of net allotment money received. Okay, so now we have to calculate the net allotment money received. So for that we have to write net allotment money due. So due on how many shares? 60,000 shares. What is the allotment money? 5 rupees. So 60,000 into 5. How much? Calculate in the calculator. So 60,000 into 5. So that comes to 3 lakh rupees. How much? 3 lakh rupees. 60,000 into 5, 3 lakh. Okay. So net allotment money, excess application money adjusted. So that we have to do. So that is excess application money adjusted. Excess application money adjusted, how much we have done here? We have done the calculation, that is 15,000 into 2, 30,000 adjusted to allotment. So how much? 15,000 into 2, 30,000 adjusted to allotment. So that same amount I am entering. So 15,000 into 2 excess application money adjusted to allotment. So deduct this 30,000. So how much you are going to get? 2,70,000. 2,70,000 we got. So next is net allotment money less allotment money not paid by Mr. A. How much he did not pay? We have calculated, that is 4,500 rupees he has not paid. So deduct that 4,500. Deduct that 4,500. How much you are going to get? 2,65,500 rupees. 2,65,500 is the net allotment money received. Net allotment money received. Okay, net allotment money received is 2,65,500 rupees. So next we are supposed to calculate the amount to be transferred to the capital reserve account, because here Mr. A's complete shares has to be issued, and Mr. B's part share has to be issued and not issued. That adjustment will be there, because in the reissue they said the entire or the whole share of Mr. A should be included in the reissue, and whereas Mr. B's a part of the shares has been issued. So that calculation we have to do. So working note number 4. Working note number 4. So that is calculation of amount to be transferred to capital reserve account. Okay, so for this working note, now what we are supposed to do, first we have to calculate for Mr. A. What is the number of shares held by Mr. A? 1000 shares. 1000 shares. So how much he has paid? He has paid only application money, 2 rupees. So 1000 into 2, that comes to 2000 rupees. Got it? 1000 into 2, 2000. So discount, because reissued at rupees 8 rupees 50 paise. Correct? Reissued at 8 rupees 50 paise. So if the face value of the share is 10 rupees and reissued at 8.50, so then loss how much? 1.50. Correct? So that is a discount. So less discount on reissue. So how much discount on reissue? That is 1000 into 1 rupees 50 paise. That is what we have calculated here. So if you do that, you are going to get 1500 rupees. So if you deduct, you will get 500 rupees, which has to be transferred to capital reserve account. Capital reserve, that is out of Mr. A. Capital reserve account. Transfer to capital reserve account. So for Mr. B, we have to calculate now. Okay. So now I am doing for Mr. B. Mr. B is the holder of 2000 shares. Mr. B is the holder of 2000 shares. So total shares forfeited, then 1000 plus 2000, 3000 shares. So but in the problem, how many shares we are reissuing? Look at the problem. Of the shares forfeited, 1500 shares were sold to C. So 1500 shares were sold to Mr. C. So in such a case, is the holder of 2000 shares, is B's shares 500 shares we are reissuing, and rest 1500 we are not reissuing. Correct? So out of this 2000 shares, so how much we are reissuing and how much we are not reissuing, and at the same time what are all the money paid? Mr. B paid first application money and allotment. He did not pay first call, he did not pay second call, because he failed to pay both the calls, then his shares were forfeited. So in such a case, Mr. B paid 2 rupees on application and 3 on allotment. So even allotment value is 5, but we don't include premium. Premium 2 rupees, you deduct from 5 rupees in allotment, so you are going to get 3 rupees, because see, allotment 5 rupees. So which includes premium of rupees 2. So if you deduct how much, you will get 3. So 2 plus 3 is 5. So Mr. B paid 2000 into 5. So he has paid how much? 10,000 rupees. He has paid 10,000 rupees. So now this 2000 should be divided into two parts. One is issued and not reissued. Okay. So I'm doing it issued and not reissued. Reissued and not reissued. Okay. So I'm doing it reissued. So how many shares reissued according to our calculation? Because 1500 shares were reissued, 1000 of Mr. A. So then 500 shares has been reissued and 1500 shares is not reissued. So what is the value of this? 500 into 5. So that is 2500 rupees. And here 1500 into 5. So that is 7500 rupees. Clear? 1500 into 5, 7500. 500 into 5, 2500. How do we got the value of 5? It is here. He has paid only 2 rupees application, 3 on allotment. Okay. So now these shares were reissued, we clearly said. So we have to deduct the discount. So less discount on reissue. Less discount on reissue. Discount on reissue. Again 500 into 1 rupees 50 paise. Correct. So calculate how much it will come to. 500 into 1 rupees 50 paise. So that comes to 750 rupees. 750. So deduct 750 from this. So you're going to get how much? 1750. 1750. Clear? So this is again this 7500 remains same. So we are not reissuing. So this is completely forfeited. Clear? Completely we are keeping with us. So it is not reissued. So which is not reissued. So then 1750 and 500 rupees. So this I am marking as a 1 and this I am marking as a 2. If you add this 500 plus 1750 put together, how much? How much you are going to get? Mr. A 500 rupees and Mr. B 1750. So put together 2250 rupees. So that is transferred to capital reserve. Amount to be transferred to capital reserve account. Capital reserve account, that is 2250 rupees. So this 7500 what we are going to do? So that is transfer to forfeited shares account. Directly forfeited shares account we are going to show this 7500 rupees. Are you all clear with this working note? Yes? Okay. So now we are into the journal entry part. So I'm ready with the table. So journal entries in the books of Sun Company Limited. Date, particulars, LF, debit, credit, rupees, rupees. Okay. So I'm ready with the table. So let us pass the journal entry. So first journal entry I'm passing, that is always what? Bank account debtor to share application account. Bank account debtor to share application account. So how many shares has been subscribed by the public? 90,000 into what is the application money? 2 rupees. So that comes to 1,80,000 and 1,80,000. 1,80,000, 1,80,000 being share application money. Share application money received, being share application money received. So next is transfer entry, that is which money we are transferring? Share application money. Share application account debtor to share capital account to share allotment account to bank account. So here for share application, how much we have received? 90,000 into 2. So we have received 1,80,000 rupees, correct? So out of, for capital, how many share application we are transferring? 60,000 into 2, that is 1,20,000. Clear? Then pro rata allotment made for 75,000 shares, correct? So 60,000, 75,000 minus 60,000 is 15,000 into 2 adjusted to allotment, that is 30,000. Then rejected and refunded on how many application money? 30,000. Sorry, 15,000. So at the rate of 2 rupees, 15,000 into 2, that is 30,000. Okay, so we are done with the entry. Write down the narration being share application money transferred excess adjusted to allotment and the remaining, what we did remaining? Rejected and refunded. So we are done with the second transfer entry. Okay, so next we are moving to the third journal entry. Third journal entry is all about what? Allotment money due. While passing the allotment entry, you must be very clear that whether this problem is with premium or with discount, you should know. So this problem is with premium. So then we have to pass an entry for allotment. So when it is with premium, what is the entry? So entry is share allotment account. Share allotment account debtor to share capital account to security or share premium account. Security premium account, since the problem is with premium. So on how many shares? 60,000 shares. What is the allotment money due including premium? 5 rupees. So 60,000 into 5, how much? 3 lakh rupees. 3 lakh rupees. So now for share capital, how much we are supposed to transfer? 60,000 into 3, because premium money is 2 rupees. They said in the problem. So calculate 60,000 into 3. So that comes to 1,80,000 to capital account, and to premium account is 60,000 into 2. Premium is 2. So that is 1,20,000. Correct. So now write the narration being share allotment money due. Share allotment money due. Okay. So next entry is receive entry. That is fourth journal entry. Receive entry is bank account debtor to share allotment account. Bank account debtor to share allotment account. How much net allotment money received? That we have done a working note for that. Correct. So let us look into the working note and copy the amount. So the working note clearly said calculation of net allotment money received. So net allotment money received is 2,65,500. 2,65,500 rupees is the net allotment money received. So that is what I am writing here. So that is according to the working note number 3, 2,65,500. The same I am writing here. So bracket working note number 3. So 2,65,500. 2,65,500. Okay. Write down the narration being allotment money received. Allotment money received. Okay, so we are done with the allotment entry. So now I'm moving to the first call entry. Okay, so let us pass the entry for share first call money due. So what is the entry? Share first call account debtor to share capital account. Share first call account debtor to share capital account. On how many shares? 60,000 shares into what is the first call money? So just look into the problem. So that is on first call, they said on application 2 on allotment 5, on first call rupees 3 and on second and final call rupees 2. So on first call rupees 3 rupees. So on first call rupees 3 is due. So 60,000 into 3 how much? 1,80,000. 1,80,000. 1,80,000. 1,80,000 being share first call money due. So next is receive entry. Bank account debtor to share first call account. Bank account debtor to first call account. Share first call account. How much we are supposed to receive? So now open the bracket and write. Open the bracket and write. Actually, we are supposed to receive 60,000 shares out of Mr. A, the holder of 1,000 shares, failed to pay allotment. Then automatically he did not pay first call also. Then Mr. B, the holder of 2,000 shares, failed to pay both the calls. So total 3,000 shares money we have not received. So we have received how much? 57,000 into 3. So calculate 57,000 into 3. 57,000 into 3. So 57,000 into 3, that comes to 1,71,000. 1,71,000. 1,71,000. So now write the narration, that is being share first call money received except on 1,000 shares held by Mr. A and 2,000 shares held by Mr. B. Held by Mr. B. So we are done with the first call receive entry. So next, which entry we are supposed to pass? So next we are supposed to pass the premium entry. So sorry, for feature entry, that is against Mr. Yes, correct, because they said clearly in the problem. So that is Mr. A, to whom 1,000 shares has been allotted, failed to pay the allotment money, and on his subsequent failure to pay the first call, his shares were forfeited. So up to first call, his shares has to be forfeited. So now we are going to pass the forfeiture entry. So we are going to pass the forfeiture entry for Mr. A. So now let us look into it. So for feature entry, we are going to pass the for feature entry. So what is the for feature entry now? So for feature entry is that is a share capital account debtor. So that is 7th journal entry. Share capital account debtor to share forfeiture account, then 2, which all the money he did not pay, share allotment account, correct, he did not pay allotment money. share allotment account, then to share first call account. Share first call account. It did not pay. So what is the number of shares held by Mr. A? 1000 shares. So 1000 shares. He did not pay. What are all the money? What is the face value up to this level? So we have to check. So till this level, the total value of the shares is, let us calculate. On application, rupees 2. Allotment, rupees 3, that excluding premium. Then first call, 3 rupees. So 3 plus 3, 6, 6 plus 2, 8. So 8 rupees is the face value of the shares till this level. Okay. So till this level, 8 rupees is the face value. So 1000 into 8. So how much is supposed to pay? 8000 rupees. So for feature account, how much and how much to be transferred, we don't know. But we know which are all the money he did not pay. Correct. So first call money he did not pay. So let us write that on first call 1000 into 3. So that he did not pay. 1000 into 3 is 3000 rupees. And again on allotment, he did not pay how much? So that is allotment, that is working note. We have to refer net allotment not paid by Mr. A. Correct. So allotment money not paid by Mr. A. How much? 4500 rupees. Working note number 2. Remember 4500 working note number 2. So I am writing working note number 2. How much he did not pay? 4500 rupees. Clear. So then how much he did pay? 8000 minus 4500 minus 3000. So 8000 minus 4500 minus 3000. So he has paid only how much? 500 rupees. He had paid only 500 rupees. Okay. So that is for feature entry. Okay. So now write the narration being 1000 shares held by Mr. A forfeited due to non-payment of call money. Non-payment of call money. So we are done with this entry. So that is for feature entry is over. So next entry is due entry. Due entry of what? That is second call due entry. So let us write share second and final call account debtor to share capital account. Share capital account. So that is on how many shares he has failed to pay now. So due is 60,000 actually. Correct. But Mr. A's shares has been forfeited. That is 1000 share deduct. So that comes to 59,000 into 2 rupees. 59,000 into 2. So that is the due entry. So 59,000 shares at rupees 2, second and final call money due, that comes to 1,18,000 rupees. 1,18,000 and 1,18,000. So narration is being share second and final call money due. So next is receive entry, that is 9th journal entry. So receive entry is bank account debtor to share second and final call account. Bank account debtor to share second and final call account. So that is 59,000 minus 2000 which was held by Mr. B, he did not pay. So that comes to 57,000 into 2 rupees. So 57,000 into 2. Calculate how much you are going to get. 57,000 into 2 rupees. So that comes to 1,14,000. So write down 1,14,000. 1,14,000. So now write the narration, that is being share second call money received except on 2000 shares held by Mr. B. So next is 10th journal entry, that is again a forfeiture entry, because in the problem they said clearly, that is Mr. B, the holder of 2000 shares, failed to pay both the calls and his shares were forfeited after second and final call. So his shares has to be forfeited after the second call. So we are done with the second call receive entry. So now his shares has to be forfeited. Okay, so first let us calculate share capital account. Share capital account. What is the number of shares held by Mr. B? 2000. What is the face value? 10 rupees. So 2000 shares at the rate of 10 rupees is 20,000. So debtor to share forfeiture account to, which are all the money he did not pay? He did not pay both the call, correct? To share first call account to share second and final call account. Okay, so now he did not pay second and final call, so we know that 2000 into 2 rupees, so that is 4000 rupees. And it did not pay first call as well, 2000 into 3, so that is 6000 rupees. So we know that he did not pay this. So then he paid how much? So 20,000 minus 6 minus 4. So he paid 10,000. So if you add, you are going to get 10,000 rupees or 20,000 rupees. So or you can say he paid what? 2,000 into 2 rupees on application plus 3 on allotment, that is 5 rupees. So 2,000 into 5, 10,000. Okay. So now pass the narration for this. Pause the narration for this. Being share of shares of Mr. B forfeited due to non-payment of call money. So we are done with this forfeiture entry. So we are done with the forfeiture entry. So now we are supposed to do the reissue entry. So that how many shares we have reissued? Reissued to Mr. C. How many shares we have reissued in the problem? Of the shares forfeited, 1500 shares were sold to C, credited as fully paid up for rupees 8.50, 8 rupees 50 paise. Clear? That has been reissued to Mr. C. So then let us pass the 11th entry. So that is reissue entry. Bank account debtor. How many shares we are reissuing? 1500 shares at rupees 8 rupees 50 paise. So calculate now. 1500 into 8.50, that comes to 12,750 rupees. So bank account debtor. Then forfeited shares account, forfeited shares account debtor. So what is the loss per share? 1500 into, if the face value is 10 rupees, we are reissuing at 8 rupees 50 paise. So the loss is 1 rupee 50 paise. 1500 into 1.50. Calculate how much? So 1500 into 1.50. So that comes to 2250 rupees. 2250 rupees. So 2 share capital account, to share capital account. So to share capital account, how much we are going to get? 15,000, 12,750 plus 2,250 rupees. So put together it is 15,000 rupees. So what is the narration? Being the reissue of, being the reissue of being the reissue of 1500 shares, 1500 shares, 1500 shares, 1500 shares at rupees 8 rupees 50 paise, 8 rupees 50 paise. So now the last entry is forfeited shares account debtor to the capital reserve account. So that is forfeited shares account debtor to capital reserve account, capital reserve account. So according to the working note which we have done here, so how much we are supposed to transfer to capital reserve? 2250 rupees. How much? 2250 rupees. So 2250, 2250 rupees. Write down working note number. So that is 4. Being 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 transfer of being transfer of final profit to capital reserve account. So we are done with the journal entry part. So now we are supposed to prepare a balance sheet. So let us prepare the balance sheet now. Balance sheet and a bank account. So open a table for bank account and balance sheet. So for bank account, I always say, 5 to 6 line is more enough. 5 to 6 lines. So first I'm writing the bank account around 5 to 6 line. So you know the table, right? Simultaneously I'll put the table columns for balance sheet as well. So table is getting ready for bank account. Table is getting ready for balance sheet. So now let us write the heading bank account, debit, credit, particulars, rupees, particulars, rupees. So first to share application account. How much received on application? So 1,80,000 first journal entry. Then to share allotment account. How much we have received on share allotment? So that is on fourth journal entry, 2,65,500. Correct? 2,65,500. So 2,65,500. Next to share first call account. So how much we have received on share first call account? So that is 1,71,000. 1,71,000. Next to share second call account. So how much we have received on share second call account? 1,14,000. 1,14,000. 1,14,000 we have received. So 1,14,000 rupees. 1,14,000 we have received. Next is share capital account. So that is on reissue. Share capital account, that is on reissue bank account, that is 12,750. How much? 12,750. So I'm writing that 12,750 rupees. So then by rejected and refunded, if it is there, we have to. So share application has been rejected. So share application account. So how much we have rejected and refunded? Look at this transfer entry, bank account. How much? We have rejected 30,000. So that amount we should enter here, 30,000. So now total it both the side. First you total the debit side, 1,80,000 plus 2,65,500 plus 1,71,000 plus 1,14,000 plus 12,750. So that comes to 7,43,250 rupees. So I'm writing 7,43,250. 7,43,250. So out of that we have to deduct 30,000. So minus 30,000. So you are going to get 7,13,250. 7,13,250. So that is by balance carried down. So that is cash at bank. That is nothing but cash at bank. Balance carried down figure in the bank account is the cash at bank. Okay, so that is cash at bank. So we are done with the bank account. We are done with the bank account. Now we are supposed to do the balance sheet. So now let us prepare balance sheet. So give the title new balance sheet. As on that date in the books of Sun Company. So write down liabilities rupees, assets rupees, liabilities rupees, assets rupees. So first give the heading, that is number 1, share capital. So under that write authorized, comma, issued, comma, subscribed, comma, called up and paid up capital. Called up and paid up capital. Correct. So now calculate. Actually company have issued how many shares? That is 60,000 shares of rupees 10 each. Correct. 60,000 of 10 each. So that comes to 60,000 into 10. So that comes to how much? 6 lakh rupees. 6 lakh rupees. Less calls in arrears. Calls in arrears. That means which we have not reissued. So how many shares we have not reissued? 1500 shares, correct? We have not reissued. What is the face value? 10. So 1500 into 10, how much? 15,000 rupees. Deduct. If you deduct that 15,000, how much you are going to get? 5,85,000 rupees. 5,85,000. So next is second head, which we are going to write is reserves and surplus. Reserves and surplus. So how much reserves and surplus in that? So first one is share premium or security premium. Anything you can write. Share premium. So on how many shares we have received premium? So we have received premium on how many shares? So actually 60,000 shares. So 60,000 into what is the premium money? 2. So that comes to 1,20,000 rupees, correct? Less not paid by Mr. A. How much he did not pay? So he did not pay 1,500 rupees, correct? So why 1,500? Because it's 250 excess application money adjusted to allotment, correct? 250 shares, that money has been adjusted to allotment, so he did not pay 1,500. So how? Mr. A is the holder of 1,000 shares. So 1,000 into 2, that is 2,000 rupees, correct? So is 250 rupees, 250 share application, excess application money adjusted, that is 500 he has paid, correct? So that 500, if you deduct, so he did not pay 1,500 rupees. He did not pay 1,500. So then outer column how much? 1,18,500. 1,18,500. So next, capital reserve. Capital reserve. Capital reserve how much? Capital reserve, the last journal entry according to working note as well, that is 2,250 rupees. 2,250. Then we have a forfeited share account which we have not reissued. Forfeited share account. Forfeited share account of 7,500 rupees. If you get confusion with this two, go back to the working note over here. So look at, as I said, 2,250 transferred to capital reserve and 7,500 which is not reissued, but the amount we have received 7,500, it should be reflected in the balance sheet as a forfeited account, forfeited shares account or forfeiture account. So it has to be reflected in the balance sheet liability side. Okay, so that is what I am writing here, that is 7,500 rupees forfeited share account. Okay, so I'm done with the almost entry in the liability side. So now I'm going to the asset side. So in the asset side, first one we go with fixed assets. Fixed assets. So fixed assets, do we have any fixed assets? No, nil. So then we go with the current assets. Do we have any current assets? Yes, we have cash at bank, correct? So we have cash at bank. So how much we do have cash at bank? So that is, if you look at 7,13,250. So I'm copying the same 7,13,250 rupees. So now let us total the balance sheet amount column and the liability column. So let us check how much it will come. 5,85,000 plus 1,18,500 plus 2,250 plus 7,500. 7,13,250. So balance sheet has got tallied. 7,13,250. 7,13,250. Both the side it got tallied. So whatever the solution we are done. is perfectly correct. So wherever this partly forfeited shares partly reissue comes, so then you have to be little bit careful while calculating reissued and not reissued and amount to be transferred to forfeited shares account. Otherwise remaining all same, so you need not to worry. So we are done with the problem. I believe you have understood the problem very well. So I'll come up with a new lesson in the next video, that is liquidation. I have already completed the theoretical part. So in my next video I'll solve a problem. So we are going to start the problem under liquidation. Until then, take care. See you soon. Bye bye and stay safe.